Okay, we're back after a little bit of a break, and yes, I did remember to unmute you. Yes, you are. I appreciate the check-in. It's always relevant to check in. So
do the check-in.
The first question that I want to address immediately is Psychonthrope. Way earlier, when you said that you would transform them into blood hunters, did not understand what you meant by that. So let's talk a little bit about is it Matt Mercer specifically that made it, or is it just a Critical Role blended?
It is Matt Mercer's class. You can find it on DM's Guild if you want it. It's not that expensive either. It's super cute and adorable.
It's basically the Witcher in
it's
D&D,
basically a
right?
Witcher.
Yeah.
So I'm basically transmuting 3 of whatever levels of however they have into Blood Hunter levels in order to get them the subclass. Through the ritual. So there's an initial ritual that happened that makes them Witchers for all intents and purposes, and then there's a second part which turns them into werewolves, and a third part that gives them control over the lycanthropy. So it's like it's a solid 24 hours minimum for this. And we expedited it because normally this would take 3 levels of bullshit. So the first thing that they get is basically the ability to track Fae fiends and undead. And then with survival checks, they get advantages on that. And then they get bonuses, advantage on intelligence checks to recall information about those creatures. They also now have the ability to manipulate their blood and use it to do magic, which is fine and not bad.
Blood hunters are rad.
It's definitely a hell of a buff, but that's also like you're potentially facing down an army of werewolves, right? So every bit of an advantage you can get is pretty important.
So the next thing is that they learn how to use their newly found blood magic to curse people. The people that they curse have to have blood in them in order for it to work, which is why I couldn't curse the vampire unless if the vampire had blood in it. My blood. It had my blood in it.
Yes, you specifically asked that during that combat.
They can, there's like a basic level of like, there's a list of curses. There's a basic level of the curse. They can make it stronger in exchange for taking 1d4 necrotic damage at the level that they're at. So they'll hurt themselves in order to make it big.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
I'm back.
That was weird. No, we're fine.
Hey,
everything's
it happened
good.
after game. At least it happened after
it's
game.
It's
fine. They get a fighting style that is related to specifically this. So that's the thing that happens. And then they get the ability to take 1d4 of necrotic damage, and then they can put an energy damage on a weapon, or in the case of being werewolves, their claws.
Lightning claws.
I personally have lightning because lightning claws, but also lightning axe. But at this point, they can have either fire, cold, or lightning. Up to them.
I kind of want Kevin to have necrotics, but his can be like bone claws.
So, Kevin couldn't get necrotic damage until he gets to level 14. So, but like, get him there and he'll have it.
Yeah, he's an NPC. What else?
Well, he does. Well, so the thing is, he takes necrotic damage, so he's probably like shedding flesh and stuff because he's creepy as shit.
Bones are showing. Yeah.
The werewolf thing. So once they become like the werewolves and then have control over it, they get they get advantage on perception checks for hearing or smell. And then they get the ability to transform into a werewolf, like a hybrid werewolf, for up to an hour.
And they don't lose their
once
sanity.
Once for a long rest. Say that again.
And they don't lose their sanity.
Lose their sanity. No, they don't. It's a bonus action to do it. They can speak, use equipment, wear armor while in that form. So like all of that stuff, you're just big giant wolfy boy.
Is that what you did at the
yes.
middle of that combat? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. What you get is advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws, and a +1 damage bonus to melee damage rolls. You get resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks that are not silvered. And as long as you're not wearing heavy armor, you get a bonus +1 to AC. They get unarmed strikes that you can apply your energy damage to if you want to. And when you light up one hand, you can light up both hands. If you're doing 2 weapons, you have to activate them each individually normally. And your unarmed strikes do 1d6 bludgeoning or slashing damage because you now have pointy claw things.
You're giving them super soldier serum, among other things.
I'm giving them super soldier serum. And then they get the ability to make...
I love it.
An additional attack if they take the attack action.
So going forward, we now have essentially 3 adventuring groups happening, right? We've got yours, we've got Anton's, and we've got this...
The pack.
The Kevin Bone Wolf pack at this point. We've got a third group. I love it.
Yeah, the only like real like downside to this is that if you ever start your turn in your transformation with less than half of your hit point maximum, fewer than half your hit point maximum, you have to succeed on a relatively low wisdom saving throw or immediately attack, like move to and attack the nearest creature.
So you can go a little insane with it.
There's a little bit of insanity there.
It's a DC 8 wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, but do you think Bone Wolf has a high wisdom?
Oh, fuck no, I don't. He let me cut his arm open and stitch it closed with God knows what inside.
Or Bevan or Bathu, like
none of them are good. I'm
sure it'll be fine.
But the side fact is that if you're like a multi-class with this and you have a spell that you're concentrating on, or if you're in Barbarian Rage, you auto fail it. You auto fail the wisdom check. So, but like, you know, why not be a werewolf barbarian? It sounds like a great fucking idea. What's the worst that could happen?
It looks like werewolf form is like a pseudo rage anyway. Kind of does half the stuff it does.
Yeah. But that's all that they would get from me out of that. So
in addition to whatever levels they already might have had.
Basically, if they had 4 levels in fighter, they are now 3 levels
and
blood
one
hunter,
yeah.
1 level fighter.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm not like gifting levels out to these guys. Fuck that. I'm taking levels away and changing them.
So Kreetha has been carrying around this plushie, and I want to make something clear right at the get-go. And this is a spoiler for those who might play Dragon Heist, so a little bit of a spoiler. I did not make this up. This is part of that module. In the box that Kreetha opened were dozens of little beholder plushes, each of which, yes, is a scry point for the Xanathar's team of clerics or wizards or whoever.
Fantastic.
So like, one thing that I think it might have been Calder, it might have been, I don't remember, who said, by the way, this might mean that every Xanathar plushie is definitely a scry point. Yes.
Definitely a scry point. Oh
yes.
My God.
And
it's your fucking Alexa in your house. Just
and I cannot believe I managed.
Subscribed. I said yes to cookies.
I cannot believe I managed to put this one over on you all for this long. Like, I gave you a pretty awful hint at the beginning because I had to double check before I did anything else that like the beholder was still able to see. Right? Like, I don't want like Jen to be, you know, I put him away before. But I had to sort of give up the bag a little bit early on. But like
what few boobs she has. Come on, I mean, it's
I was very interested because I was making plans for what if the Xanathar could see the entrance to the forge. What if the Xanathar could see your fight with Nightscale? And like, I was already making plans on how that would work. And I'm really glad that Calder was able to find the answer despite just awful Arcana rolls at least once.
Yeah. The first check, no.
He's a sorcerer, not a wizard. He's not used to researching this stuff.
Yes, it normally just comes to him, you know?
Damn it, I rely on my magic trust fund, not magic education.
Meanwhile, somewhere Charlotte's just sneezing a fit.
Now the question is this going to teach Kretha a lesson about stealing random plushies?
Absolutely not.
I hope
Come
not.
on, what's the likelihood
It's
of
definitely going to teach her not to shove them down her shirt, though.
Yeah. Be careful what you give access to your titties.
Oh my
That's the
god! I
lesson
mean,
here.
I really do.
Behold-
Like, it really does bring me straight back to being 13 and terrified.
Beholders are famously myopic, and they can actually like mutate and change based on objects that they fixate on. So, like beholders that get obsessed with dragons get draconic characteristics. Ones that study elliphids get ellipid characteristics, and so on and so on and so on. They're
So you're
changed
saying
by
That
their
means Xanathar is plushy. Like,
Xanathar might have goblin titties next time we see him. What are you saying?
I don't
No.
know. I'm just saying.
Gross.
I'm just
Do
saying they have
not
myopic.
tempt me.
They have myopic, obsessive tendencies.
Well, if you do that, you also have to draw the bad picture.
Yes. Art required if it's canon.
That's the trade-off. We can't draw it. You have to draw it.
You have to.
I don't care if it's a stick figure.
That is the barrier
You
to
can't.
entry.
Okay, first off, you cannot make a stick figure beholder. They are
Yes, you
spherical.
can. The eye stalks can be sticks. That counts.
Do
Yes.
not tempt me.
We'll see. We'll
You
see.
gotta put titties on it.
I wasn't planning on that.
We don't have to go down this road.
But there was a legitimate, real possibility of the Xanathar itself showing up in the Forge of Fury. If that, and there would have been a fight. And I was already planning ahead to that fight. So you all headed me off at that, which is probably a good thing.
Oh, honestly, we might pull it out of the bag and have that fight anyway, because
Yes.
I kind of want to scrap.
You
But
do
that's just me.
have the ability to attract, at the very least, a high-ranking Illithid, and at the very most, like, you have no reason to believe that Xanathar itself would leave Waterdeep, but it is a possibility.
We lost Jen.
No, Jen's going to bed, I hope.
Well, she said her internet went bleh.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully she's going to bed anyway, because I know it's very late over there. I just have to check. What is the temperature right now in Sacramento? Like, it's 9:30 p.m. It's 96. Great.
Hey, you're back under triple. Fuck.
Absolutely fantastic.
It almost
It is
had to get
98.
all the way to 10 p.m.
It will finally cool off to 86 degrees by 4 a.m.
That's the idea, yes. That's the hope. So, Gale is now frozen again.
Oh, what? No. I can hear you.
Okay, no, I can hear you. I just,
Okay.
your picture is frozen. Everything is going perfectly well now.
And my
So,
lovely hair.
Gale, Gale Stronghammer asked a question, and that question
several.
is, what is the symbolism behind the uncut gem? And
yeah, like, did you pull this from something, or did you make it up on the spot?
So, the uncut gem is a symbol that acknowledges that people who are in a relationship change each other. Yeah? The gem is changed by the chisel, and the chisel is changed by the gem, and they both do their job and come out beautiful. Now, yes, I just made that up, and I just made up that bullshit I just said in the 5-minute break in between game and now. So, yes, it was just made up, but also I think it's apropos for dwarves who are lovers of craft. And I also happen to know a particular person that giving raw materials to is an excellent gift. So, you know, giving raw materials to artists is usually a good plan. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I'm talking about right over there.
All right, yeah. Oh man, there are so many cute potentials for this too. I've been meaning to be in a situation where Echo can ask Durgadin about this. Ever since Vic and Echo had that conversation where Echo's like, no, we're not dating, we're not courting. Echo's been thinking in the back of his mind like, but we could be.
But why not?
How do I do that?
Let's see. I'm sure Gail has lots of other questions.
There's a few from Psychonthrope in there too.
Okay, so hold on. Vic is carrying Lou in a baby Bjorn on the broom.
Absolutely.
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
What did Vic do to the volunteers? We already answered that. Good. Could the
Turn them into
orcs-
fucking werewolves, and then I took away some of their class levels and changed those.
Could the orcs hear the noise Kreitha made? This is not a particular spoiler, given the roles that some of you made. Yeah, definitely the orcs saw you crash, but all the orcs might have seen is you crash into the lake.
Right?
Now, coming out the lake might be complicated, but that's a problem for another session. That is future Bad Decisions Club problems. How likely is it that Anton is going to die off-screen fighting druids?
Unfortunately, low.
Very low. I am not nearly done being smarmy yet.
Aww.
And on top of that, he's playing Anton.
Both true. Are any of the PCs or prominent NPCs habitual joint crackers? I am the DM, so most of the NPCs are, I imagine.
Echo?
Vic is.
Yeah.
Vic absolutely is.
Echo is a dancer. He can crack every bone in his body.
Calder pops his fingers only when like specifically tense or stressed. But disturbingly, like he'll also pop his tail and wing bones, which I imagine is slightly different and odd.
Like cracking a whip.
Yeah.
I wanna say I crack my neck on stream so regularly I forget I'm doing it. And then I actively, when we were about to start crafting, cracked all of my fingers. Like immediately. I was like, let's fucking do this.
Let's see. Okay, so that's joint crackers. How are we gonna get, or are we gonna get Thomas and I think it's Thaxis. I think there was an X in the name. I seem to remember an X in the name. Are we gonna get Thomas and Thaxis killed? What levels are they? I won't reveal that. I will say that you will need to protect the kobold, and the bard can take care of himself. I'll give you that much.
I appreciate that.
Bard is a combat class.
It can be, yes. And
anybody who can walk
I have a particular
for 5 hours on their toes carrying a tuba can fight God in a Denny's parking lot.
I don't think I mentioned this on stream, but I did mention it for the sake of art. I have modeled this character after Thom Merrilin in The Wheel of Time, one of my very favorite mentor characters in all of fiction. I know that The Wheel of Time has its problems, but it has been like, since I was 13, like the big series that I've read, like over and over again. And he is one of my favorite characters, so it was nice to bring him in. And I couldn't help but do what he did and do the dumb thing and be like, maybe I should go and adventure again. And I'm sure it won't end the same way it does in the books.
Every single time.
I mean, what happened to the last bard we had with us? They ended up okay, right?
Oh, I'm hitting the...
With his family right now, okay?
Absolutely shameful. Shameful.
We can't even say too soon because it was like a whole year ago.
It really was. This has been going for a while. Like, it's hard for me to even direct people to our backlog because it's so fucking big at this point.
Our next project should definitely like be highlight reels by season.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm, by the way, just a quick like heads up going forward. I'm gonna take the Calder Creed resident video, and I'm gonna cut it down, like, and down, so it's really a montage of all the descriptions. It's gonna be great.
Just a short chop of like
Just
all
a
the ones
very short chop of each description. Yeah, it's gonna be so good.
I
might even get someone to put a beat behind it.
I even put them. I painstakingly listened to it and proceeded to transcribe each of them into a document.
Nice.
And that's what I'm referencing when I think of one. Like whenever I think of a thing in the week, I'll just type it down in there, and that's what I'm drawing from when I give my what is called her.
Nice.
I mean, I have made just a few highlight and clip shows. They're mainly, you know, for the audience of me, but I have posted them on my Tumblr if you wanted. I did the innuendo compilation. That one was pretty long.
And by the way, once again, I have to say, some of your YouTube posts get pretty decent views. Like, there was one from a couple of weeks ago that hit 1,000 views. Like, your little animatics are pretty popular sometimes. And that's great. I think they're well worth it.
The algorithm is looking for.
Right, yeah. Of course, but like more people should be looking at it, is what I'm saying.
I have fun making them.
So we're at 3.5 hours. Let's go ahead and get into the official sort of last segment, unless anyone else has any other loose stuff to talk about.
I would like to say, point of order, that Echo wrote the letter to Hyacinth and all of them, catching them up, and did not actually include where they should write back to if they want to. So we're gonna, you know, maybe a letter will show up, maybe not. He didn't think
Hyacinth's
that far.
a pretty smart cookie. I think he'll figure it out.
Hyacinth also has access to a wizard.
Yes.
Fair. But Echo did not think that part through.
Hyacinth, as way of cookies go, is not a dumb one.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna check his stats. Give me a moment.
Okay.
I might be lying.
What int is
I thought he was pretty good int. I thought.
Oh, I'm curious. Who's higher between Charlotte and Vic?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Vic has a 20, yeah.
Yeah.
Vic has a 20. Vic is a certifiable unnecessary genius. Yeah. Sorry, it's loading. I closed it because I was going to go to bed.
I'm sorry, Charlotte did also multi-class, and that she needed to put some more points in charisma.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Vic is multi-class, but still has a 20 because, come on now. We're here to be geniuses.
Nerd.
Well, and also because Blood Hunter is, like, based on how much blood you have in your body, so not how much strength you have. It's like strength-based, but in this case, it's int-based because my weapons are magical because of my other thing, and I use int for that, so I'm more int than anything else. I have an okay con. It's okay. Character wizard open. So the thing that takes the longest to open in Fantasy Grounds is the character wizard. So
yes, that's fair.
That's very true.
Okay, Hyacinth as a level 8 character. There's so many. Sorry, I have like 42 characters. There's a reason why it's bad. Hyacinth has a 12 intelligence.
Okay, so not bad.
Decent.
Vic has a 20 intelligence and a 14 con.
Yeah. Comparison, Charlotte's rocking 17 intelligence and 13 con.
They could have a pretty solid conversation, and then there would be some weird conversations about like the breeding of cats and how you can use blood and bones to make items with if you don't even try all that hard, actually.
Charlotte's over there like, but why?
But also, like, Charlotte would have known lore is a little bit fey in nature. So, like, there would have been, like, I mean, I see it. It seems, like, counterintuitive, but yeah.
Why, when you could just pure magic?
I don't have access to pure magic. It's science.
I need to get that.
Error.
I need to get that on my soundboard. Science. So I'm fading, so we should probably do our what we liked and who we want to nod. Specifically, by the way, at the end of this, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Since the inspirational challenge has not been finished yet, if you're in here and you have not donated yet, you totally should.
All of us.
I'm going to go ahead and give out an inspiration point to one player character. And I want each of you, as you tell me who you're giving your props to sort of tell me why I should give that person an inspiration point. I like this idea. It's something I picked up from a podcast. We'll see if it works out. So I'm going to give an inspiration point to somebody. Let's go ahead and start with Gail. What's something you had fun with, and what is someone that you think I should give an inspiration point to?
I had a lot of fun. Seeing old NPCs pop up again. We had Marlin make an appearance. We had fucking Bone Wolf volunteering to become a werewolf. It's just, I didn't expect it, and yet when it happened, I'm like, the stars are aligned. And it was just very good to see all these, older and more new faces again. So I really enjoyed getting to interact and see all the NPCs come back into things. And then I want to give my shout out to M for not only the cool descriptions of and figuring out all of the crafting rules. I mean, out of game, that sounds like it was a lot of work to make sure everything fit right and worked out. But then also just the pure genius of being like, hey, do you want me to make anyone some werewolves? Like, just that whole scene is so good in my mind, and it was a wonderful surprise I did not see coming, and it is amazing.
I wanna make a side note. I never told Barnabas that no, the only people knew that I was going to be turning people into werewolves are the people who were like, yeah, sign me up. Because I was like, would you like to learn how to fight? Werewolves are really, really good.
So I think M should get the inspiration because they will pull other crazy shit like that out of left field.
M, what's something you had fun with? What's someone you think I should give an inspiration point to?
I mean, I had a lot of fun with the being a nightmare child. Like, I always have fun with that. Inspiration wise, I kind of want to do with Kretha because of a couple of the scenes that were just like a lot of the ways that like Kretha was like bouncing off of me was really great, and then some of the interactions with the plushie I think were really good because it was the juxtaposition of like, but it's my child, low key, but also like it's super bad though at the same time. I thought that was very apt, and I think that it should be rewarded.
Jeff, what's something you had fun with? What is or who do you think I should give my inspiration to?
I have to admit, I loved the one purchasing scene. Just yay, more callbacks to former NPCs, and but the like being able to do it from the perspective of a very tired and borderline exhausted Calder, which led to my favorite line was like, "You're mean when you're tired."
Also, even though it requires attunement, getting one shot off of the Wand of Wonder was.
I want it. I want it badly. Not enough to drop that much gold on it. You've been very stingy with this game, so no, I'm not gonna throw that much onto what is essentially a DLC purchase. So no, thank you.
Yes, and again, if it wasn't an attunement slot, it would be much more compelling. But like looking down the list of the things it can do, I get it.
Yeah. Me too, but
speaking
it
of which,
renders an otherwise interesting object essentially useless to anyone who wants to be something serious.
Yes.
We have 4 toss of coins, by the way.
Yes. We'll apply those. Thank you.
As for who should get
Yes.
inspiration, it has to go to Gale. That's been a fun chain of scenes and interactions, just being on the point with playing off of everyone, myself included, and all the NPCs that we encountered. That was fun, and it was fun to build on. You had something funny and fun to do at every scene, so definitely.
I had fun the most with, again, the wand selling scene. I like that character. I like pulling out random shit and just like having you try it out. This is not the first time you've just been like, hey, what's this magic item do? Boom. And now it's happening. At first it was the wand, or the deck of illusions, which Kreitha has never used since.
She did bring it up this
she
session.
Mentioned it. She mentioned it.
Well, that's going to be useful when we have to inflate our numbers for an inevitable castle siege. But
also, I like the change in traversal method. I like the change from horseback riding to broomback riding, and the way that you're interested in I don't know, going through and hitting the dragon up, hopefully for information, hopefully for help. Or perhaps just to kill him and take his hoard. I don't know. We'll see exactly how that goes next time. But like I've been hoping for this rematch for a while. And I'm pretty sure that if anybody has been watching our show through the Forge of Fury, they might have been like, yeah, but they didn't fight the dragon at the end. And like, no, I loved that scene. It was perfect. But like, I want to fight the dragon. And more accurately, I want you to fight the dragon. So we're going to fight the dragon next time. As for the inspiration point, it's tough. It's always tough. I don't know why I did this to myself, because of course all of you would nominate other
Jen's
people.
Opinion on it?
I don't. But I think I have a feeling I know where Jen would go. I won't speak to that, but I'm going to say that of all of the performances today, I liked M's the best. I'm going to go ahead and say M gets the inspiration because again, I love artificers. I love artificers doing weird shit. I love the idea of, oh yeah, of course you want me to stitch this bracer into your arm, right? Right? It's going to give you easier access to a wand.
Why
You obviously want me to stitch this into your arm, right? And
actually,
like,
I gotta
just
shout
a
out
little bit of
Lycanthrope on this one real quick. Because Lycanthrope is like, best thing that you didn't say was they can't steal that wand from you.
Right. Yes.
What are they
They
going
have
to
to
do?
take your whole ass
It also-
arm to do it.
It also gives our game a decidedly cyberpunk kind of turn. So I got to give you the point. That is horrible and disturbing and awesome.
Cyberpunk
If we had
a la
gotten
body horror.
if we had gotten the Rod of Wonder, 100% yes would have gone for it.
You know, here's the best part here, right? Here's the best part. This is the best part, and I'm swear to God, Vic has a Rod of Wonder. And has since the beginning. It's been attuned. It's the thing I decided to not unattune to put the stupid.
And this is still going to surprise
detection.
viewers later because nobody watches this long into the Talkback show.
You're just gonna whip it out one of these days, and Calder's gonna be like,
Absolutely.
What?
Absolutely. I was waiting for the correct moment to do it.
It hasn't happened yet. Yeah.
It hasn't happened.
Okay.
maybe this dragon fight will be the moment.
Let's do plugs and wrap up. Jeff, where can people find you and follow you and experience your artwork?
I have been of late been on Instagram and TikTok at Still Tired and Angry. And yeah, I do just time lapse sketches and occasionally post weird dumb stuff.
Excellent. M, where can people find you? What one name can they use to find you all over the place?
You can find me at One Silver Key on all the things. I am supposed to be starting to stream again this this month because it is my birthday month. And also, like I have my setup. I have my second. I have 2 monitors now. I'm very happy. It only took 2 months. 3 months if you count the fact that I had to live in a hotel room without a second monitor.
But you're there. You've got it now.
Yay!
Gail, where can people find you and experience your stuff?
So there's a Tumblr, A Measure of Separation. It's misspelled. I just posted it in the chat. It's misspelled, slightly misspelled on purpose. And I also cross-post the stuff I post on my YouTube about this, like all of the compilations and the AMVs also gets posted on the Tumblr. So you will see everything there.
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Patreon, and Ko-fi at MathDemigod. You can also find our VODs on youtube.com/gamingmathematically. Thank you all very much for watching. It's been a hell of an evening. I was really worried this would go poorly because I was exhausted, and it's been very, very warm.
It's so hot.
It's very bad out there still, but thank you for watching. We will see you in 2 weeks' time, which is, I believe, the 20th, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Assuming nothing horrible happens, we will see you on the 20th.
Directly before I level up.
Directly before you level up. Have a great one.
All right.
Bye.
Let's see if the credits work.
Credits.
Credits. Maybe.
Credits? What is this new thing?